Romped Episode.
All right, coming in at 5'11", freshman in college, number 69, Scott Joey, as our guest.
Thanks for having me, Jalen.
Yeah, no problem. All right, welcome to Romped Episode 2. All right, our first category is favorite beer. All right, we also have Levi Waldhauser, which is our co-host.
What's our first category, Mr. Kaufman?
Our favorite beer.
You wanna start
Mr.
it
Jolly,
off?
you can start us out.
You know, as a broke college kid, I find myself having a Busch Latte in my hand. But if I could choose the beer that I'm going to be drinking on a casual Tuesday night like we are tonight, I'd probably have to go with the Coors Light.
Coors Light. Have you expanded your horizons in the beer world, or is this just freshman light beers your favorite light beer?
See, I've expanded a little bit. I haven't got too in-depth,
Okay.
but just kind of whatever's around, what you can get your hands on, that's what I'm kind of...
Do you really like the light beers, or are you thinking once you're gonna try some other stuff, you're gonna branch out, or are you always thinking that you're gonna enjoy the light beer?
Like Dos Equis, is that not a dark beer? That's not a light beer.
No, I don't.
No,
It is a light beer.
Yeah.
So that shows you how cultured we are.
Yeah, definitely. But as of now, I think I'm a light beer guy. It goes
Alright.
down smooth, and it just...
Any time of the year, summer, spring, winter, fall.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Preferably in the summer when it's
Summer.
those hot summer days, it just rolls down your throat.
Good
real
Busch
nice.
Light. Half water, half beer. Hydrate you while you're drinking it.
How about you, Mr. Waldhauser?
You know, I'm gonna change seasonal. All right. I'm gonna say summer is a. You know, I don't know. I couldn't drink it constantly, but a nice warm day, I'd like to crack a nice Corona Extra. But day like today, Busch Light, for the sake of finances, like Mr. Jolly said. But I do have to agree with the Coors Light option. I'm a big Coors guy.
Now back to your Corona point.
Corona Extra.
Are you
with a lime?
I was just gonna ask that. Are you a lime guy?
Yeah,
You slip it
of
in
course,
there?
with a lime.
Okay, good,
You gotta
good.
pop that lime in there.
All right.
Can't
With
go
the
wrong.
Coors and the Busch, maybe you guys are educated. I'm not for sure. There is a difference in type of grain it's produced with.
Fuck that. I don't know anything about
Do
that.
you know?
I don't know the grain, but I can taste-wise, I can definitely tell
I
there's a
think
difference.
I think Busch. I'm not gonna say. I think Busch is like corn and. You know, I'm not gonna say. I don't know. But
So you're a farmer.
I
If there's
am
any
a
beer
farmer.
experts going to be listening, please chime in to us and let us know what the
Yes.
actual...
First one to tell us the difference between Coors Light and Busch Light, we will provide you a $10 gift card.
to a place of your choosing.
Yeah.
All
right.
kidding.
Mr.
So-
Coffin, what is your preferred beer?
All right. So, you know, if I'm at a party and if I want to get drunk, you know, I'm a big Natty Ice guy. Yeah. Big Natty Ice guy. If you don't get full, it's double the percentage of beer of Busch, and plus you get drunk way more faster.
Way
But-
more
point.
fast.
You know-
More fast. All right.
Excuse my English. Yeah, whatever. But if I'm drinking for taste, I'm a big Bud Light Orange guy.
Oh, can you drink a lot of them though, or does it cut off at like 5 or 6 and you start getting a little too sweet and your tum's out?
Cut me off at like 13 and I'll be good.
Oh,
All right.
all right. Are you drunk at 13, or is that when you have to stop drinking because of gut ache?
Oh God, no! I mean, I can quit drinking around like 18, I'd say.
All right. So what do you switch to after 13 oranges?
Well, I mean, until I start getting drunk, I'll probably go to Busch or Coors or something like that.
So
Alright.
question here. When you are at the point of drunkenness, is it really anything someone hands to you?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because we all reach that point where it tastes like water. so
Open or closed?
Yeah, that's questionary.
Open or
You
closed?
can't trust people. Open beer or closed beer. I won't take anything that's open.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get roofied.
That's what I'm saying.
But I kind of do. I mean...
I'm sure there's a lot of dudes
I'll
out there
take-
that find you attractive.
or kinky girls that are down for it.
All right, next question.
All right, so, Levi, what's your opinion on IPAs? Which IPAs mean Indian Pale Ale.
There you go.
They're-
Educate our non-cultured listeners.
So they're mainly found in Minnesota and Wisconsin?
I mean, I'm not sure. I can't help you on that one.
I mean, in South Dakota, there are not a lot of IPAs around.
That is true.
You do not hear a lot of college students drinking IPAs.
And that's more cost effective on your budget.
That is true.
Thanks
But
for
in
listening.
Minnesota, there is a thing. Levi's brother can go somewhere, and he can build his own set. So he tells the bartender what different kinds he wants, and each beer is a different taste.
Oh, because we did that on the McGregor night of watching the fight.
Yes.
Because they had like 6 different IPAs. Yes. We tried a lot of them that night, and I'm going to say I've tried IPAs maybe 3 times in my life, and there's a couple that I like, but it's too bitter for me. I'm going to be honest. I'll stick to my light beer. I'll stick to my Busch Light. I would prefer a Coors Light over an IPA any day of the week. And I think, if I'm going to say a food, if you guys know what I mean, a food that takes getting used to, if you bite into shrimp right away for the first time, you might not like it, but you got to eat it 4, 5, 6 times to get used to it.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe that's the same way for an IPA with me.
But is that almost how everyone is with beer?
Beer, yeah.
With beer,
but
it takes a while. You just kind of force it down, and
Yeah.
then you just get used to
you
it.
guys, you have to, because hard alcohol is too dangerous. So I'm going to say if I drank IPAs more, maybe, but right now, no.
Okay.
How about you?
Okay, so like my opinion is, so the first time I tried IPAs, I was in Minnesota at your brother's place, Levi. And so I was a little bitch. So I didn't, it was like right into college, I didn't drink every day. So I got hammered the night before.
Hold on, you drink every day now? What's your GPA?
On the weekend, my GPA is around 3.3. Alright, so anyway, in Minnesota, I tried IPA.
What's this APA you're talking about, Mr. Kaufman?
APA still, not MLA, but APA.
Oh, so you're drinking college.
Yeah.
All right, finally, keep
Okay.
that grades on the brain.
So I liked it just because I like that bitter taste.
Really?
Yes. So that night I didn't get drunk just because I was still hungover
Because you drink every
and I was a
day.
little bitch. So I didn't drink every night.
Now, that's an everyday occurrence in this day and age.
Can't argue with that.
Eh.
Anyway, I tried to set to your brother's IPA and it wasn't bad. It was very bitter and I like that taste. So what I'd like to do in the future is, keep trying that.
But you are a wild drinker, Mr. Kaufman. I have endless videos of you on my phone bashing beers, bonging beers, shotgunning beers.
Okay.
I don't believe that you can do this with IPAs.
All right, that's a conversation with later. All right, so I would definitely love to try IPAs.
Mr. Jolly.
See, I can honestly say I haven't had an IPA before, but, I think it can be just like a normal beer where you just got to drink it for a while. I'm sure right away you probably don't enjoy it that much. I think that's with any non-hard alcohol that you're going to drink right away. It just takes time. But it's definitely not on my list to jump into right away. I think if I had the chance, I might try it, but I'm going to stick to my nice cold Busch Light as of now.
To be fair, we have not been cultured with this.
Very
In
true.
small towns, the biggest town, what's Canastot's population?
We're rocking about 650.
Oh my.
650. So
Shout out to all the Canastotans out there.
we exactly double that.
And Freeman's about 1,200,
13.
1,300, something like that.
We about double that. And I have never seen an IPA.
No.
I mean,
And
I'm sure
I
they
don't
sell
think
one or two, but
I don't think IPAs are popular in South Dakota.
Oh, if you
No.
went to a group of kids in a small town like we were from, ask them what an IPA is, they'd have no idea.
Yeah.
oh no.
So,
Next question.
All right. So, What's your favorite liquor to take shots of? So I'll start off. That's a tough one. My favorite liquor to take shots of is Everclear.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I've
boy.
never taken shots of Everclear.
That's
but-
more than Sean Connery.
Yeah, bong that shit. No, I'm kidding. So, take shots of is probably Fireball. You know, Fireball's up there because it gets you fucked up. And like, I mean, I'd Chili Willy, and for those that don't know what Chili Willy is, it means snorting the hard liquor / beer. I'd take a Chili Willy of Fireball, and I have before. And
How'd that end up?
I felt dead before. It's bad.
I'm sure it really doesn't feel good in the nostril at all.
No. All right, Mr. Jolly, what was your speed?
So if I had to choose one, I could definitely roll with the Fireball. But the one weird thing that I've experienced with Fireball, there's a major difference between taking a shot and taking a pull of Fireball.
Really?
I can take a shot of Fireball, and I'm feeling wonderful. Now, if I'm taking a pull, I mean, I'll still keep it down, but it definitely affects the stomach a little bit more. But I'm also not opposed to like a Ron Diaz. I can do some Ron Diaz. Yep.
Also budget friendly.
Budget friendly indeed. Thinking like a college student, you gotta weigh your options on what shots are available. So Levi, what are you thinking here?
This is very controversial. You take them red twisty candies, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
The big strings of red twisty candies.
Yep.
You turn it dark, you got black licorice. What else am I talking about? Yag bombs all day, baby.
Oh, jeez.
Shot the Jagger.
Yeah, all the choices.
Put it down the hatch.
Yag bomb.
That's it.
Jeez.
Shot the Jagger down the hatch all day.
So you made a black licorice reference. Are you a fan of black licorice?
I am not. However,
Okay,
I do
good.
like Jagger.
I would definitely lose just a little bit of respect for that. So,
All right. So we are here with Cole Waldhauser and Joe Dooley. Cole Waldhauser being Levi's brother, and Joe Dooley is Cole's roommate. All right. So please, Cole Waldhauser, introduce yourself.
Hey everyone.
So that's Cole. Joe, introduce yourself. The man, the myth, the legend.
What's up, boys?
Alright, we got some good topics for you boys right here.
All right. So, Joe, you go first. Who would win in a fight, a lion or gorilla?
Oh, gorilla. 100%.
And why?
Why?
What's his fighting tactic?
5 times the strength of men. They're fucking, like, like that lion would have to go, like, straight to the neck, which is, like, the worst, like, point you want to be against a gorilla, too, because it's, like, that jack fucking, they can just, like, grab it and crush it to death. No. 100% gorilla.
All right.
Like, gorilla would fuck it up.
All right, Cole, how about you?
I'm going to also go gorilla for 2 solid reasons. Opposable thumbs.
Oh, that's good.
That's
That's good.
That is good.
And
Lion comes after that gorilla, you can just hold the bitch down.
Is
You know, I don't know if that gorilla knows jiu-jitsu, but
was that your 2 reasons? Was thumb 1 and thumb 2, or do you have another reason? Thumb 1, thumb 2. All right.
All right. So, Cole, you go first this time. What is the biggest animal you can kill with your bare hands?
personally, or like DCD?
You personally.
I'm gonna say a giraffe.
And if you guys have any questions, you can think about circumstances. Like,
Why a giraffe?
I know that sounds like I'm starting to on, but hear me out. I go giraffe because you can go after those things when they're asleep.
How do they sleep?
Cole, excuse my pun, but that does seem like a tall task.
Oh my god. No, I mean, if it's sleep and you sneak up behind it, you could probably, like, cut off the air.
Butt race it.
I don't know.
Okay,
Barehanded, how do you kill
What
it
if it's
even
like
if it's
sleep
sleep?
standing up, though, like horses? And you get a fucking ladder.
so what's your strategy towards this giraffe with your bare hands? Like, what WWE wrestling move are you going to use on this tall animal to take it down and kill it?
I gotta go with the people's elbow.
People's elbow. Love it.
Music right to the giant.
Now, would your strategy be different if it was alive? Or not alive, sorry, excuse me. If it was awake and active.
Let's say it's mounting another giraffe. What would you do to fuck that giraffe up?
Well, if it's in the heat, I'm not getting anywhere near that thing.
Why? Do you not want giraffe semen all over you?
Oh, dear no.
Another tactic you could use on that giraffe is they have fairly long legs. So if you go
say
with
something long.
if you go for it with a drop kick to the knee, I feel like their knees can't be that strong.
They're extremely strong.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the route you want to take, but I thought that the problem deal with your bare hands.
Yes, it
That's
was.
true. That's true.
So, I mean, yeah, you can do that to, like, bring it down to its knees.
And then drop the
You
old
feel it. You
people.
gotta go for the jugular, man.
That's very true.
Mr. Dooley, what can we I don't know about largest, but what is the most fierce animal you could kill? Because when he read that question, this is going a little off script, he said largest, and that was the question we planned to ask. But I'm thinking honey badger or a big ass pussy animal. You got the honey badger all day. So what is the most fierce animal that you can beat with your bare hands? You can kill with your bare hands.
Oh, man.
And it can be largest if that's the path you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, they don't need to be that big to fuck you up. That's like the scary thing, right? I mean, like a coyote can really mess up your day. They're not that big, you know. I've seen like 100-pound coyote. That looks fucking ridiculous, but I would say probably like a coyote would be the biggest I could get up to. Those fucking things are mean as fuck.
You don't think you could beat up a coyote, Joe?
I don't think I could beat up a what?
A coyote.
I think it'd be difficult.
I think you could take a coyote one-on-one.
I'd kill the shit out of it, but I'd fuck up afterwards. Like, I'd be messed up. You know? But I'd beat it.
You know
Yeah,
that.
I'd walk away pretty messed up.
Okay, by the way, in this video, for all the listeners, no animals are getting harmed at all.
Can I chime in and just tell a story about what Yoshi said?
Go for it.
Do it.
So, when I was in high school, there was a guy, I'm not going to say his name, for obvious reasons, but I knew a guy, one time we were driving in a small town, he would just drive around. It's the thing to do at pastime. So we're driving around out on this gravel road, and he slams on the brakes because he saw a coyote run in front of his truck. So he chases it down, and he wrestled it, and he started to punch it like on his bare knuckles. I'm not joking. I watched him punch the coyote to death with his bare knuckles.
Does his name start with a K?
So it is true. You pretty much myth-busted that human versus coyote, human wins.
Yeah, like very savage human, but human nonetheless.
Okay. All right.
Alright.
So I'm going to say, Joe, that you are underrating yourself, and you can kill more than a coyote.
Let's take your word for it.
All right. So, Joe, you start off with this question. Could you kill an anaconda barehanded in a cage fight?
Did I beat one?
Could you beat one?
Did I? Of course.
Of course. Explain how. Because anacondas wrap around you like a motherfucking, like, I don't even know what motherfucking is.
But
More of an great, Jalen. Alright? It was like a sort of... There was feeling shared between us both. It was a magical moment.
Like sexual or how magical? Like sexual?
Whoa, wait. Sexual, okay. We're getting a little farther to this point. It's an adult thing between two adults and amphibians.
Cole, do you think you versus the anaconda, do you agree or are you going to disagree with this? You versus the anaconda, it's a mad anaconda. This is not a happy, lollygagging anaconda. He's stuck in a UFC cage match.
I just think that anaconda is misunderstood, you know, that his upbringing, and so I have to, like, foster it into a loving relationship toward
Okay.
love and acceptance.
No. Not at all. Not at all. Let's say...
I mean, this thing has some hype music coming out.
No, not at all. The anaconda had an affair, and you're the person that the anaconda is having an affair with. What the fuck would the anaconda do?
How could you do this? We had so much going on. Alright, sorry, I just came back to the light. I was like, fucking early there for a second. Alright. But what were we talking about? Me fighting an anaconda? Yeah, I would kick the shit out of the anaconda. Pretty cool. Out of water, keep it pussy. So,
Okay. All right. So, Cole, what would you do? What's your answer?
Oh, okay, I guess the same question. Okay.
Yeah. Can you kill an anaconda barehanded in a cage fight?
I think it was a hard no.
Thank you. Now, you two,
Logical answer.
we need you two to dispute. Cole versus Joe, yes or no, anaconda, human, go.
Well, considering my opponent is trying to make love to the snake, I don't know. I mean, maybe he's a charmer. From my perspective, that thing is, there's nothing you can really do to stop it from choking you out, other than leaving the cage.
Have you tried showing it passionate love?
Passionate love. Yeah, I don't know. You gotta ask Julie about that one.
All right. So Dooley, what would you do if an anaconda started humping your ass?
Well,
I completely wanted to eat off last week.
I'm saying no.
Wait, what? You be getting the shit humped out of you.
No.
And at what point do you just say,
I wrote a traditional household here. We know the role.
okay,
I am the domineering male. She is the amphibian housewife. So like that. No, like we got this side now. I'm not kidding. I'm
so at any point would you just lay there and be like, all right, I'm just gonna take it?
So, if it humps you, do you tap out?
Or you just sit there and let it pleasure itself?
You gotta push back sometimes, you know? Like, experience some life.
The anaconda would like that.
No, that has to be a pretty special occasion.
All right. So the next question is, okay, so Cole, what is the biggest animal you would kill with a sword?
You described bare hands, now you're given a big sword.
So we're just called in on the animal section, it sounds like.
Yeah, you guys got animal segments.
Okay. With a sword.
Yeah. I mean, this is like a big sword.
Alright. I was about to say bear, and I stopped myself, because I think a bear
I'll
So
fuck you up with a sword.
Stab with a sword and then still swipe you.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm gonna say bison.
A bison. Ooh.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, beheaded.
Like,
Beheaded, huh?
so like,
I could see it if you like, because the Scots used to use like the broadswords for horses. So like,
Okay.
you kind of use the spear and make it run into it. You know, like they used to do that with the horse. I could see that. Like if you didn't have a lucky fucking swing to even like hurt the bear. The bear's neck is fucking sick. Yeah, they're the show. You don't put them locking in final answer bison.
bison. So
Alright.
I
like,
like that answer.
if it's running at you, what would you do?
Bison and I still have the sword.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna do like what Joe said, like a jousting type scenario. Just let the bison use its body weight, its momentum to run right into my sword. Hopefully I get it in the vitals. If not, I'm jumping off the cliff. Oh no.
Wait, you're jumping off a cliff. It went from an anaconda humping your ass.
So that was Joe.
Oh. I was gonna say, now you're jumping off a cliff.
Yeah, because that's kind of where they hang out, is by the bluffs.
Okay. Alright, so now we're gonna go away from animals. So, Cole, it's your turn, or Joe, it's your turn. How many third graders could you fight before you became overwhelmed?
Oh, that's a wonderful question. I'm guessing, and the thing is, I'm thinking about like my group of friends, what we would have been like back in the day. I'm thinking I could take 8.
8?
Really?
That's it?
Yeah, I think 8. Like, 'cause, well, maybe 10. I put the shit out of 4 movies.
Not.
Let's for 4 would be so fucked. They would not be fair.
So are we talking like Royal?
There's no chance.
Joe, are you talking Royal Rumble 1, 2, 3, 4? Or are you talking you get 1 through 4 at the same time?
Oh, dude, fucking one swing.
That's a valid point though, because like, how many hits can an average third grader take from an adult? You know?
I know from experience, around 10.
1.
Well, I'm guessing like 3 max, 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think 2. I think
Full blast is put to sleep in 2.
I think 1 good hit is pretty average.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean get tape like before it gets knocked out?
Before it runs away because it's tired of getting hit in the face by adult Joe Dooley. So you don't have to kill them or knock them out. You just have to fight them. Like when they're done with the fight, you're out of there. But right away they're really heated.
Yeah.
You gotta think of it as like, these third graders are promised, like their third grade teacher comes in and says, hello class, we're gonna beat the shit out of an adult male today. Whoever wins gets free recess for the rest of the school year, and you get all 8.
Free recess to the pay for it?
Well, you know what I mean.
And Joe Dooley is told for every third grader that you beat in this fight, you get $1,000.
So there's a lot of rewards. There's a lot at stake here in this.
Cole, what do you think? How many third graders are you taking down in this case scenario?
And this is, like we said, it's all at once, right?
Correct.
So I'm thinking like the average classroom is like, what, 25, 30 kids?
Yeah.
That's close.
But third grade, you're what, 8, 9 years old?
You'd be 9 years old.
Yeah. I'd say all of them.
So what about a bigger classroom? So are you saying 25, 30, or are you just saying a classroom?
Yeah, about 25, 30 third graders. What are they going to do? Like, if they all put all of their energy on one leg, you can still punch them in the top of their little head, and their heads are soft still.
That's true. Also can't forget about a nice drop kick.
Oh, drop kicks. There's so many options. They do nothing. Okay, if they're smart enough to go after your ball, Oh man, you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
All right.
One more question, and then we're gonna log off. All right.
Alright.
All right. So who went last time? Joe? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Cole, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 50 duck-sized horses?
Oh my god. This question is an hard one. Well, first of all, before we sign off, I just want to say I'm a huge fan. I listen to the podcast.
Woo!
You know, fuck you. And I'm so starstruck just to be here with you guys.
Yeah. Thank
I
you.
mean, that's what you get for being one of our committed, full-time, 100% listeners.
But anyway, okay, so repeat the question. It's like horses ducks.
Yeah. So would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 50 duck-sized horses?
One horse-sized duck.
Yeah.
But why?
I'm thinking of like the density of a horse, even if it's the size of a duck, they're still like muscular little like animals. You got 50 of those things coming at you and all. It's still kind of scary. One is giant ball of feathers. I'm gonna take that old mallard down.
But what if that duck has like rabies and just wants to like do you up the butt? What's the size of the duck?
I mean,
Well, I mean,
They do.
the duck,
They do.
the duck will have a horse-sized cock.
yeah, they do. They average like about a foot long.
More than a foot long.
If you're talking horse-sized duck cock, you're talking about 3 foot of cock coming at you hard. They have no reason to be erect while they're fighting you, though.
Unless they're horny for you.
Well, I feel like every one of your guys' questions just ultimately becomes, you're going to get raped by an animal.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Maybe we should change our title of the podcast to "You're Gonna Get Raped by an Animal."
You guys are like the boys.
All right, so Cole, which one would you choose? Joe, you said the horse-sized duck, right?
Big old duck.
All right.
Even if it's got rabies, like usually.
All right, Joe, which one would you pick?
And I don't use my hands.
I mean, if you're into the foot fetish, then whatever. I mean, if you're into anything, you're fine.
You can use your body.
Like, that's a lot of things. Here, don't you dare tell me. Foot fetish. What about, I mean, the answer, I mean,
Your whole body.
You don't have a weapon.
yeah, I probably, I don't know, dude, like, birds of prey scare the shit out of me. Like, they're fucking killer. You know, like, think how savage a fucking heron is.
Yeah, but a duck is not a bird of prey, Joe.
Trying to kill you know? Like, they are dinosaurs, too. Like, they're, like, you know, closely related. Just, like, they just killers the whole time. So, like, I don't know, horses are fucking lame. I hate horses. I'd love to fight 50-year-old tiny bastard horses. I'd probably just pick my horses just to get my legs down. Why do the horses have to be fatherless, Joe? They're bastards. I heard you like Game of Thrones. I'm fucking with you. Can't believe you boys don't watch it. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah?
Terrible.
Fucking great show. Such a good show.
Which takes me to a question I will answer later. If you guys tune in later, you'll hear my my answer to who I'd want to live on an island with for the rest of my life, and you will hear my answers later. All right?
Alright.
But to give a hint, it deals with Game of Thrones. But first of all, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and please spread the word of Romped, all the episodes that are coming up and the episodes that are to be.
Of course. You guys here to explain the origin of your name?
Okay, so
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have not done that yet.
so Romped is a
Hold on. Maybe we should hang up and make them listen in order to hear it.
That's a good one. Or I mean, they're gonna listen no matter what.
Yeah, we'll explain. You guys are quality
Okay,
listeners.
so Jacob Hertz, the other host, is currently sick, and we do not want him in a room because we do not want to get sick, as he believes he has not bronchitis, but what? Tuberculosis. So we do not want him in here because of this. But anyways, him and the other Menno boys, romp means like party hard, alright? So when we say like, hey, are we romping tonight? That means, hey, are we gonna consume a lot of alcohol and are we gonna get fucked up tonight? So that's where it comes from. The Menno boys made it up, specifically her, so all the credit goes out to him. But here in the next week, he should be joining us, and that's where Romp comes from.
I hope Mr. Hurts is able to recover.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining the podcast and for stating your opinions.
Yeah, we're happy to be here.
All right.
Thank you so much for it.
Hey, tune in to hear the island bit.
We will.
All right. Talk to you later.
Yeah. See you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that was Cole Waldhauser and Joe Dooley tuning into her podcast. So now we will go to our favorite beer. Oh, did that one?
We are restarting,
Yeah,
listeners.
restart, baby.
Joe's
All right.
getting raped by anacondas threw us in a loop.
All right. So our next question is, and I'll start this off since Levi started off the last question, if you'll remember. Our favorite mixies / cocktails. All right. So mine would probably be gin and tonics.
Really?
And the reason for this is I like that bitter taste of alcohol. In fact, bitter / sour taste of anything. So gin and tonics, if you haven't had it, I recommend trying it at least once. It's more of a bitter taste, and it's just so pleasurable to the mouth. It is so good.
Does Barney Stinson have anything to do with this choice?
Okay, so it's kind of a chain reaction here. So I didn't realize that Barney Stinson off of How I Met Your Mother drinks gin and tonics, but Levi noticed that. So he started drinking it and he told me about it.
Only
And-
reason I tried it was because
And I loved it. And the whole reason Levi drank it was because of Barney Stinson. And I love it. That's my favorite mixie ever. And I have no regrets about, well, I do have a few regrets, which we'll get to later. All right. Scott, what's your favorite mix?
See, this is a toss-up. There's two that come to mind that just really tickle the taste buds when you're thinking of the mixies, and it'd have to be with the a vodka lemonade, or you can't sleep on the Ron Sprite.
Ooh, I agree.
Both
there.
of those, I can drink those for a long, solid period of time and not get sick of. And if you want to mix them up back and forth, that's even better. I mean, it could be a rough night for you, but it is still
A rough
great
morning.
to the taste.
rough night, rough one.
Well, I mean, any mix can give you a rough morning.
That's a good point there, Mr. Coffin.
All right. Levi, what's your favorite mixing?
See, I like a good gin and tonic, but I don't think it's my favorite. I've discovered my favorite very recently upon self-interest and self-experimentation and lack of other mixes, pretty much the main reason. So I have recently mixed a good Evan Williams bourbon with lemonade. A
Okay.
good bourbon lemonade serves a fella nice. Not in the morning, like any mixie, but at night. If you like lemonade, you'll like a good Evan Williams lemonade.
I've honestly never had that before.
I'll make you one.
That's a bold choice there, but I think you got to be open to experiment. I mean, if you don't like it, then you can always just give it to your buddy like Jalen. Jalen's good about that. If you don't like a drink, Jalen, especially if he's had those 13 Bud Light oranges, then he's good. And he trusts you because if you're close to him,
True. I mean, I'll drink anything as long as it gets me, fucked up. All right. So the next category is favorite party memory. And now this is not of someone else, at least not yet. This is of you. What night defines you as a partier? And Mr. Jolly, you go first.
Boy, this is a tough one, But this might have to go back to my I hate to say this, parents, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but this has to go back to my high school days.
Oh no!
I hate to say it, but there was this after party after a football game, and we're out at a lake house, and we're just sitting there. It's a bunch of us high schoolers drinking or whatever, and we reached the ultimate crucial point of being a high schooler, and that is you run out of stuff to drink.
Oh yeah.
And
I know. Yep. I've heard this one.
we are just freaking out. And like I said, we're on the lake, so there's a campsite nearby. And we were thinking of ways to bring in more alcohol to make us not.
Bring in, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting choice of words. Bring in.
So we send this shouldn't say little, he's a bigger kid, a freshman, and we say, hey, run over to the campsite and see what beer you can find. So this little chunk runs over there. I'd say 10 minutes later, he comes hobbling back with a full cooler full of Palm Breezes. And for all the high schoolers that are out there, they love those fruity drinks because they haven't quite discovered the beer yet. So Palm Breeze is the best of the best as a high school kid. So we come across this. I'm sorry to the people that we stole it from, but there had to have been about 25 Palm Breezes in there, and I think they lasted a solid 10 minutes. So that night, as a whole, was probably my favorite just because of the unexpectancy and the utter surprise of seeing that kid come out of the trees with a full cooler of Palm Breezes.
Did you give him a good cut of them?
Oh, yes. He was tipped over for sure by the end of the night.
Good.
But yeah, that's definitely up there in one of my top nights.
Good.
Okay, so the person that stole that cooler, does his name start with a J? Am I thinking of this?
Yeah, that's incorrect.
Really? Okay. Well, now I'm lost. Like, I've heard the story before. I forgot what his name is. And I thought his name started with a J.
No.
Fuck.
His initials are MK.
Oh, okay. Yep. I know what you're talking about.
Yep. He was an absolute trooper that night, just going out of his way, risking it all for the boys.
He's definitely a guy being a dude.
Yeah, he was a dude that night. He wasn't just a little freshman. He was a dude. But yeah, huge respect for that kid after that night, and I know we all really appreciated it.
Yeah.
Mr. Kaufman, what is your top of the line memory of partying?
I already said.
I don't think you did because I started this topic.
I don't think you did either.
Did I not?
Nope.
What did you say?
Shit, I can't remember.
You definitely didn't say that.
Well, either way, we're going in clockwise rotation.
Clock rows, huh? Listeners, we are going in clock rows rotation.
It's clockwise rotation. So Levi would be up. Mr. Waldhauser. Levi's getting another beverage, so give him a second. I swear I stated mine. You did not.
You did not.
Oh.
So why don't you tell our listeners what your top moment of partying would have to be?
All right. So my top moment of partying would have to be Hobo Days of 2017. 2017. All right. So we're at this house. Not a lot of people, but see, I like the parties where it's a smaller group of people, like around 30 or so, that all know each other. So Levi, Kelby, Shane, John, and I were at a party, and we went outside, and I bunked this beer. And this beer, and what bunking the beer means is you smash it against your head until it breaks open, and you drink it.
How many tries does the average person take to smash against their head, as you say? And then how do you drink it? Out of the top? Does the can crack?
Okay.
Explain this to maybe virgin
So,
drinker viewers.
A bunking beer to all you virgin drinkers. So most of the hits means like, I don't know, 5, 6 hits maybe on the top of the head.
How many does it take you on average, Mr. K?
It takes me 1 hit.
Oh, okay.
And the top of the beer can breaks open, and you lift the beer on top of you, and you let it pour in your mouth, and you drink that.
What percent do you get in your mouth after doing a wild activity such as that? What percent?
Not as low as percent as you can. I got at least 75% in my mouth.
Really?
That's
But-
impressive.
But the other 25 just flows out of your mouth.
See,
So you get all wet and shit. But then the second part of that story is, so Levi got on top of a house, and he was pouring a beer into my mouth from on the roof of the house, and his foot broke through the house.
Sorry, homeowners?
Yeah. So when it rained, obviously the next time it rained, the house would get flooded or whatever. But that was a memorable moment.
Very good.
Probably the most fun I've had in my life. All right, Mr. Walton, how about you?
I mean, I'm going to completely agree and say that was the most fun I've ever had, but I will go second most fun just to add a story to this. Oh, let's see, I lost it now. I might not be able to. Let's see. Hobo Days, always good times.
Oh, deny that.
Get you.
not always memorable, though. I mean, some of the memories kind of fade away. But, you know, if you haven't been to Hobo Days and you're in that college age, I would definitely advise it. Like, you can definitely have a good time with it.
Yeah, and I mean, no, all right, Levi, what's your number one most?
Not number one, not number two, not number three, but it's one I can think of right off the top of my head. Because recently, some buddies and I have signed a lease to a house. One of my friends took the steps a little farther than maybe what they should have done, and he's photoshopping everyone's head into pictures of us signing a lease.
Which, by the way, check out our
Twitter, Chicken Plate.
Yep, and also our podcast profile picture, which was made by Jason Slade, which is a complete animal. I love him to death, which he'll be a guest in your future podcast.
If you guys see our profile picture on SoundCloud, you can see that I'm clearly wearing a buttoned-up church suit. Not suit, shirt. This shirt is meant for Sunday. This is not meant for Friday night. That shirt that I wore out I drank an abundance of wine, have not drank wine since. I remember going to that party. I remember being there for the first 10 minutes, and then, like Scott said, sorry Mom and Dad, but I do not remember the rest. Supposedly, I had told, I know Jalen was there, and I walked out in the driveway. I got in some guy's pickup, and I said, "Are you going to take me back to campus?" And he said, "Get the Effenheimer out of my truck." And I said, "I'm sorry." So Jalen and I walked back to campus, and that morning was the worst morning I've ever had, therefore making that night before pretty memorable, but if you know what I mean, not memorable at all after the first couple drinks.
Which brings us to our next topic of favorite memory of someone else partying. So my favorite moment of someone else partying was Levi that same night. So it was kind of in a small house, and I walked upstairs to see Levi, and so it was a Chains and Shackles party. What that is where you get zip tied to a date, and you have to finish a bottle of wine before you get cut off. And what cut off means is they literally cut you off. So Levi was upstairs with his date, puking. Levi and his date were puking inside of a tote, like a plastic tote, and that was hilarious to me, especially when you're drunk. And I had to carry Levi back to her dorm because we were roommates.
Carry? I think I walked.
Bullshit. When we walked,
You did not carry me.
when we saw UPD and crossing 6th Street, you had to put your arm around me.
Okay, but not carry. It was close. It was like the injury on the football field
Okay.
carry, not baby
That's
carry.
true. That's true.
To all the viewers out there who might have a crush, I would definitely recommend going to one of these parties and trying to get cuffed with your crush, because how romantic is that to be puking side by side with them and then to have the absolute worst walk of your life? Like, what gets better? What better story can you tell your future kids than that right there?
I completely agree with you, Mr. Galloway.
So I'll tell you my favorite story. It happened this summer. We were out at the hills, and there was a group of us that were just having a good time, you know. And one of my buddies, he got started too early, and he did the ultimate thing you can do, and that's puke and rally. And he comes out of his room feeling good, and we just hand him some more drinks, get him going. And while another buddy is finishing having some intimate love with another woman.
Intimate, of course, like
Yeah.
most college parties.
Yes, and he comes out with the protection that you use when you're making intimate love, and is showing all of us this protection. So the buddy that puke and rallied goes, you know what? Will we be best friends forever if I put this in my mouth?
Is it wiener?
No, it was the protection. The used protection.
Condom?
Yes.
Oh, God.
So this kid is already in rough shape from puking and rallying, but I props to the kid for doing it. Not this part, though. He takes the condom and puts it in his mouth after it had been used.
Oh, no.
One of the grossest memories I've ever witnessed as a person, but definitely on top of my most memorable.
Did his name start with an H?
No, you would not know.
You are strike three batters out, name starting with letters, Dale Kaufman.
All right, Levi. What is yours? Your favorite?
Most memorable party moment. I gotta give a shout out to Bass Lake, Wisconsin. There has been several moments in Wisconsin that have been my favorite. One of the most favorite is riding up with our last week's host, Shane Gaston, and Jim Kaufman. We got pulled over on the way up. We started chewing a little wacky tobacco. Not wacky though, just tobacco. Anyways, we started doing pouches. Jalen was feeling himself. He was in his bag. Mr. Caston doing the usual. And then out of nowhere, Jalen asked for his uncle's long cut Copenhagen. I would say that backwards, but it's alright. Anyways, he was not agreeing with his tummy when he decided to do Copenhagen long cut. So when we got there, we were all feeling ourselves. We got a little buzzed off those pouches. Never done it before. We all started drinking. I take a little long cut. Jalen takes a little long cut. I'm not sure what Mr. Caston does. He's a little reserved, typical Mr. Caston. And then Jalen decided that he was going to go visit the toilet for about 10, 15 minutes. And when I mean visit the toilet, I mean this was coming out of his mouth, not his rear end. And that was pretty funny because while we were all enjoying a nice, cold Mid-Golden Light, Mr. Kaufman was making terrible projectile vomit sounds in the bathroom in the cabin. That was probably the funniest moment of partying that I've had. Besides, I mean, the hobo days, we can't beat that story. You took that, I can't beat that. This moment was pretty funny.
Alright. That was a good one. That was a very blackout night that I didn't remember. Alright, so our last question is, favorite way of drinking beer? And we'll make this a short one. So my favorite way of drinking a beer is definitely bunting. You bash against your head and you chug that shit. You gotta be a pussy while doing this. You gotta chug that shit like you're making it your bitch. And, that's my favorite way of drinking. Just because you feel like a boss-ass bitch. Like in Wisconsin I did that and I felt badass. Because you can bash beer against your head one time and it cracks open.
To the viewers that are listening, if you were going to try this, you got to shake that thing and just have all the anger in the world when you smash that against your head.
Did you guys ever snap a pencil between your fingers on your knee in high school?
I didn't do that, no.
Really, that was a big thing in Freeman. You put a pencil alternating fingers between your fingers, smash against your knee, and you break a pencil. And I find that pretty similar to bashing beer. Where, sorry. Jalen is stumbling to the bathroom right now. Where if you bunt it, if you hit it hard enough, it breaks. If you don't, it hurts.
And you look very poorly if you were going to do it, and it takes you multiple tries. So again, with the anger, you got to have it there, or else you are going to completely embarrass yourself. So I think my favorite way is a toss-up between bonging and shotgunning, but I'm going to have to go with the shotgun.
All right.
For the virgin drinkers out there, a shotgun is where you pierce a hole in the bottom quarter of your beer, and then you lift it up, put the broken part in your mouth, and open up the can so that there is a constant flow running into your mouth. The reason I enjoy this so much is because I'd like to think I am an above-average shotgunner.
All right.
So people are just like, dang, that kid finished that in less than 3 seconds. And if you are playing catch-up, which is, let's say the rest of your buddies have been drinking for a while, so they're feeling pretty good and you have not been drinking yet, a shotgun is a great way to play catch-up so you are on their level. So it's a quick way to just to get intoxicated as quick as possible, so I would definitely have to choose the shotgun. Mr. Waldhauser, what is your choice?
Shotgun, you have a very valid point there. I agree that I think that non-above-average shotgunners, or even, I'm gonna stay with that. Non-above-average shotgunners they tend to stay away from shotgunning because shotgunning is a very competitive. You don't go out and shotgun by yourself very often. You have a buddy.
Unless you're Joe Dooley.
Yeah, unless you're Joe Dooley. You bong by yourself. You bong on your knees. Don't want anybody to see that shit, Joe Dooley. And then but I agree. That's good. But I have to say, my favorite type of drinking, hate me for it, casually drinking a beer with your brothers.
Boy, I hate to say this, but I did just lose a little bit of respect for you. We got a guy smashing a beer can in his head. I got it chugging it as fast as you can, and you bring out the casually drinking.
If I'm going speed drinking, bong. If
Okay.
I'm going any way of drinking, crack one, tip it back.
Okay, I can agree with that. I thought we were sticking to the speed, so that's why I was going to lose
speed
a
is
little
bong.
bit of respect. But yes, the bong is a nice way to get that alcohol into your system nice and quick and get you feeling good. Your stomach's going to hurt for a little bit, but that'll go away.
All right. So what I want to do is I want to thank all the viewers that do this podcast. And I want to thank especially Scott Jolly, who is 5'11", 195,
Oh,
190, whatever the fuck he weighs. Scott Jolly, for joining your podcast.
It's been an honor. I'm privileged to have been on this podcast with two great men, very high in humor. It's been a fun time, for sure.
All right. I definitely want to address the future episodes. You know, I hope you all view later. Especially, I want to give a special shout out to Erica Sage, who viewed this podcast, and
Dooley parents.
Joe Dooley, Cole Waldhauser.
Cole,
But-
yes, very important guest in this show.
But Erica Sage wanted a shout out, and she will be on the future episodes, and I'll not spoil anything else.
Shout out to Erica, but I still have to say Chris is still my favorite Sage out of all of them.
Which is your father.
Mother.
Father.
Christy is her
Oh.
mother.
That's a bad baby then.
Curtis. Alright, anyways, Chief's here, Scott Jolly's here. We want to say, I think we can both agree we want to formally invite Scott Jolly to our next week's
Yeah.
podcast.
No. And I will not say what our next podcast category is. You know,
gotta tune in.
I'll let that for you to find out.
It might be our best of all time, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
I reviewed it, and it might be the best.
And it might be just Scott Jolly, Shay Jolly, which is his brother, and
I think Shay's going to come on in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep,
I think next week will just be us three again.
That'll be the podcast on high. So I will let you decide what you think about that podcast. So please like and subscribe to Jalen Kaufman, Rompin', which will be episode 3 of next week. And Rompin' is spelled Rompinn, or N. Sorry. Just one N.
Put the 2 N's, don't put the 2 N's. Either way, listen to us.
You'll find episode 3. If you could please tune in, that'd be great. Also, please spread the word of her podcast because we're trying to get it up there.
Drop every Saturday morning?
Saturday morning would be great.
Is that when we release them?
No, Saturday night.
Saturday night we
Saturday
release them.
night.
Alright.
All right, please tune in for Rompin' episode 3 next Saturday night. Thank you for joining, and I appreciate Scott Jolly for joining. Good night, everybody.